Hi guys, okay, here we are from underneath Bud, and today I'm going to be trying to clean the bottom of the engine. So the actual crankcase itself is really gooey, dirty and oily. I'm going to clean that, and then I need to change the oil. The reason why I'm cleaning it is because I want to see exactly where I've got any oil drips, because I need to make a list of those and then address why he's leaking oil. Because looking at the bottom, I know that is definitely an issue. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, and looking pretty grim, pretty oily and gloopy and nasty. So this is what I'm going to have to clean off. So to do that, I've got a toothbrush and I have some hot water with just detergent in it. I don't have any engine degreaser, and because we're in lockdown, I'm not really meant to be going out and buying anything. So I'm just going to have to make do with that now to see how it goes. But check in with me on the next video to see if I've managed to clean up this awful mess under poor Bud. Okay, it's not great, but I've cleaned it up enough to hopefully be able to see where I'm making, where all the oil is coming out. Be careful if you do this, because you can open up an entire can of worms, I imagine. Once all that dirt and grime and oil has been taken off, the chances are that any tiny holes that were around or leaks will now be unplugged. So yeah, just bear that in mind. But I've cleaned it up a little bit. Now I just need to get a 10mm socket and start undoing those bad boys. Wow, these are like super loose. Like super loose. I'm surprised that we have any oil left in there, really. That's probably the tightest one. Now, I know they're meant to be snug, but that's just a little bit. I'm going to have to move this out of the way and hope it doesn't pour out all over my landlord's driveway. These are not tight at all. This is slightly more awkward because I haven't actually lifted the car up. I'm doing this from under the ground, which is one of the good things about being a girl, I guess, is that you're a little smaller. Although I do say sometimes my boobs get stuck. Really awkward to get into here. I should probably just lift up the car. If you are going to lift it up, I believe lift up all four wheels. There we go. Not just back ones, because then obviously it will be at a weird angle. This is really weird doing it with my left hand as well. I should probably have done it with my other one, shouldn't I? This one was like, I didn't have to do anything to this one, it was just loose. I'm hoping that once I get these unscrewed, I'll be able to just do it using the socket without the actual ratchet. Can't see this one at all from here. This is really awkward. In my infinite wisdom, I thought it would be easier not to jack the car up, because it is gravel and it is a bit of a faff. Boobs are getting in the way a little bit. The exhaust is kind of stopping me. Right. I've also got all different sized bolts going on as well, which is unusual. I've I've done this once before on a different cart, but I didn't have all different bolts. There you go. Can you see it? It's pouring out. So we'll just let that pour before we do the other ones, I think. Put this somewhere safe so we don't lose it. You can get a really good idea of what's going on with your oil by smelling it. And I know that I have had a lot of fuel get in to where it shouldn't be, and I can definitely smell fuel on my oil, lots of it. And I know that there's fuel in it too. You can tell by the way that that is pouring out. Getting a bit impatient now. I'm wondering if I can start undoing any of the other bolts while I wait for it. This could take quite a while. There's I believe there's, is it 3 quarts? I get confused with all my measurements, but the big bottle of oil is about 2/3 of that goes into a full tank, I believe. Don't quote me on that. So I know there's quite a lot in there. This is exciting. Do you want some elevator music? Oh, I have to say, that was not a nice job. I got a little bit mucky doing that. But I've managed to drain out most of the oil. And that is the sump plate with the gasket that I need to change. So if I just give that a bit of a tug off. Oh, what's that? Is that what's left of the gasket? Yeah, looks like it. Have to excuse my oh, yeah. It's not looking too healthy, that, is it? Bit of a mess. So that's got to go away. This I have to put on something to stop it dripping. Put it on that bit of towel over there. That's the oil. I had to pour it out of the pan. There was that much in there. Had to pour it out of the pan and into a milk jug, and there's still quite a lot left in that pan under there. It just shows you how much fuel was in there, and it did pour out pretty easy, and it's quite a cold day, so I would have thought that the oil would be a bit thicker, but it wasn't because of the amount of fuel that was sat in it, I think. So I've got to clean that all off before I can put a new gasket on. Bolt it all back together again, and then I can put oil in. But yeah, that's what the inside of your sump looks like. Don't remember last time what it looked like. It was that long ago, probably talking about 20 years since I've done this. But it is quite interesting to see in there. Sometimes you have like meshes and things like that, I think, but it doesn't look like I do. It looks like it is literally just that hole and the oil just comes through. But I'm just going to let it drip for a bit, and then I'll give that a good clean, take that old mucky gasket off, and yeah, bolt it back in, put some oil in, and then once I've done that, all I need to do is adjust the valve clearances, and then I'll be able to start Bud up and see if he sounds any better, and then hopefully not have any oil leaks, although there are no promises on that one. Remember, I'm learning as I go along. Oh my god, I'm so cold. Okay, I have cleaned up the bottom, as you can see here. So that is looking sort of ready for the sump plate to go back on. I have cleaned the sump plate itself, so that is ready to go back in. What I have noticed is that these are not totally flat where the screws go in. There's quite a lot of warping there, so I'm hoping that it's still going to be okay. Well, I don't think it was leaking earlier before I took it off. It was so much dirt, it was difficult to tell, but I'm hoping that's going to be okay. And I've got all my little nuts and screws. I've randomly got quite a selection of different things here.